Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I'm back with another post-fight video of a classic heavyweight fight, so what I believe is a classic heavyweight fight. We'll go to 1954, Ezzard versus Bobby Satterfield. Now going into this fight, 2 years earlier, Charles had lost the heavyweight title. He lost it to Walcott, and since that, he had been taking fights, staying active. He wanted a shot at Rocky Marciano. Bobby Satterfield, on the other hand, I know like a year before this fight, he had fought a guy named Clarence Henry, and that fight ended in 1 minute and 41 seconds. And just to give you a feel for how exciting and just how aggressive of a slugger Satterfield was in that fight, and he was, you know, it was kind of hit or miss with him. It was killed or be killed, because in that fight he dropped Clarence Henry quick, like within the first 20 seconds of the fight. Henry gets up, proceeds to drop Satterfield 3 times. So he was one of those guys. He was hit or miss. Yes, he was an aggressive guy, slugger, but he did it with technique and skill, though. You know, he would drop. I believe he would drop that right hand. He would hold it a little bit too low for my liking when I watched clips of Satterfield, but he would, you know, use good footwork, stutter steps, drop his shoulders, use a jab, feint his way in. He wasn't just wild aggressive. But Ezzard Charles, like I heard one of the uploaders on here say, not even the finest wine ages better than Ezzard Charles. It was actually the guy that uploaded the video on here that I'm sub to, Fight Films guy. And I thought that was a funny quote. But yeah, man, Ezzard Charles was like, he was the type of guy that got better with age. A lot of heavyweights, sometimes they get better with age. But the first round starts off, Satterfield comes out being very aggressive. Charles was circling a little bit, using his jab, trying to keep Satterfield at the end of his jab. But Satterfield was moving his head, parrying the jab, getting away, using his own jab, standing his ground. Charles landed some good hooks to the body. Satterfield was coming upstairs with his own hooks. He was dropping levels. He was a shorter guy anyways, but he was still dropping levels, trying to use his jab, and he was winging those overhand rights and hooks. Landed a good right that hurt Charles, made Charles try to clinch, and as Charles was trying to clinch, Satterfield was coming over with right hooks and left hooks. He had the edge in the first round over Charles, in my opinion. Charles looked like for the first round, looked like he was having trouble of keeping Satterfield in front of him and keeping him at the end of his punch, because Satterfield was evading that jab, and he was getting in close, and he was landing good body punches, good hooks upstairs, good overhand rights. And Charles was fighting back towards the end. It got into a little mini slugfest the last like 15 seconds of the round, but I thought that Satterfield won that first round pretty clear. It looked like he had Ezzard Charles hurt. I know listening to the fight, they said Charles looked like he almost lost his mouthpiece after he got hit with one of those shots from Bobby Satterfield. But the shots that looked telling to me were the Satterfield shots, and he was putting everything on these damn punches that he was hitting Charles with. But Charles had an excellent chin, excellent skills. He weathered the storm. But I thought Satterfield got the best of him in that first round. Round 2 starts. Satterfield was out on the attack. Now, both these guys were known for their left hooks. Just listening to this fight, the announcers are saying that Satterfield was surprising everybody that night with using his right hand. He was more known for his left hooks when he was on his attack. Charles using the jab, and then he set up this vicious left hook, man. The way he set the left hook up, it put Satterfield to sleep. I mean, he fell right on his back, but he set it up with a jab, right hand, and then a quick snapping left hook. I can tell why Satterfield never saw it coming, because Charles, it wasn't telegraphed. It was so smooth, jab, right hand, hook. His body wasn't moving all over the place to throw the left hook, or he didn't get out of position or spread his feet wide to land it. It was just beautiful, man. It was so beautiful and textbook. I suggest you guys go watch this fight, man. It was just a beautiful left hook that he set up. But classic fight. Although it didn't last that long, it was a classic fight. Ezzard Charles, man, one of the best to ever do it. And let's not forget Bob Satterfield, man, one of the better sluggers of the 1950s that's forgotten. And when you slug, you can set it up with technique and parry, and, you know, by parrying punches and stutter stepping with your front foot. not just being overly wild, although Satterfield would be wild sometimes. But I thought, at least in my opinion, it was controlled aggression sometimes. But Forgotten Warrior, man, I'm not going to forget who he is. Damn good fight. And Ezzard Charles, one of the best to ever do it. Just my post fight. I'm out.